Hi there, my name is Jovan. I am a reality architect and first pre, pre, first person human experiencer avatar of this reality construct. So, in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to extrapolate a reality that you want to have. So, first of all, let's reference yourself in the 0 point, in the centerness of your being. You are subdimensional consciousness and you are not immersed into this reality construct, which means that you are one absolute thing. Consciousness, very important. There are many realities, there are many dimensions, there are many experiences that you can be having. It's called the multiverse. And you are everywhere, all at once, always, same consciousness. However, you are experiencing yourself here in the human reality as an individual. So, some things that you have as consciousness, you have absolute freedom and authority. However, when you are immersed in your first person, there are limitations. And there is this whole complex reality that you can have fun with, or many times get stuck with because it's so complex. And sometimes it's like a jigsaw puzzle. So you need to move pieces around and around until you figure some things out. Okay, and this is why I'm here sharing some of my experiences, hoping that anyone out there can relate to it. Okay. Now let's start with this big premise. You can have whatever you want. Reality is not really physical. It's a timeline. What is timeline? It's a series of snapshots that create animation. Yeah. Now these snapshots are informational arrangement or holographic information arranged to appear as a collapsed physical reality. So all the time you are manifesting reality. Now when I say you, we need to differentiate here that it is not you as a person that is ever manifesting something. You are experiencing yourself, your consciousness experiencing yourself as a person, and your consciousness manifesting your avatar and your timeline. Okay, so everything appears in the screen of consciousness. Your video game, your human video game appears in the screen of consciousness, and you're all the time manifesting. Now, you're also learning how to be human and how to do things. So you're setting up conditions of what is going to be manifest based on how you interact with your reality. Okay, now we're talking about habits, we're talking about thoughts, we're talking about mindsets, we're talking about choices, we're talking about how you interact from your first person with your environment, with your video game, that creates subscriptions, feedback loops, and decisions of what you're going to get in the further expansion of your timeline. So the limitation of your reality, and maybe you're experiencing limitations with some aspects of your life, like, I don't know, maybe something's going really smooth and you're just enjoying doing that. Maybe you're great at singing, dancing, making monies. Everybody has, like, I don't know, playing basketball. So everybody has some things that are in a broader range of our human subscriptions and experiences. People will usually have something that's defaulted to be on easy mode, and you could say that's your talent. That's something that you came into a configuration of reality where you know how to do that really well. And maybe you know how to make really great cakes, but you don't know anything about building a business, so you don't know how to make a living from your cakes, from your talent. Okay? And then you need to go into this other area that is not defaulted for you, and you need to investigate and explore and learn how it works. And then there will be a mental processing of many, many parts and information that you will need to learn, and then your subconscious will store them. It will start to create new neural networks, and neuroplasticity, and then you will create a different version of your personhood. And then one day you will wake up and everything will click in your subconscious and will become defaulted, and you will become the best cake shop owner in the city. So everything is possible, but it's a process of exploring, learning, and getting there. So how do we do that? In other words, how do we use manifestation teachings or consciousness teachings to expand ourselves in the game of life and level up your wizard? Well, you are a wizard, and then you are a wizard based on the notion that you are consciousness that is absolutely creating this whole reality and your human experience. So one thing that's interesting to observe, we have planet Earth, and we assume this is a flat plane or round sphere, whatever, but when you go outside, it looks like a flat plane. Everybody's walking there. It's a multiplayer role-playing game. Everything is one consciousness, wearing different costumes. Everybody's walking on this plane, and people are interacting with people. And you assume this is reality, which has a physical configuration, and all of these people that are walking on this plane have the same experience. However, this is not the case. This is actually a plane where there are multiple channels of this TV program or of this holographic theater or video game that are overlapping. So when you walk the streets and what you see your timeline. And I might be walking in the same street, but I see my timeline. So we are immersed in different VR headsets, each individual. And then we converge with other people, and timeline convergence is creating wherever few people are collapsing the same reality, having the same conversation, or sitting at the same table to a degree. Okay? Because we could be sitting at the same table and I might be observing whatever's going in my mind, and actually what I'm seeing outside of myself might be different. And you sitting at the same table, you have thoughts, your own thoughts. Okay, these are different than my data stream. But then we're observing, let's say, the waitress, and you see a very hot, very sexy, very hot waitress. And she's coming and asking, what do we want to eat? And I'm seeing something else. Maybe, and literally, I'm just going to say, she's a hunchback with disfigured teeth, not hot at all. But we're assuming that we're seeing the same waitress. And we're not, because we don't see people. We see what we render inside of our brain. And we are rendering our own timeline. So all of this goes to say that reality is not freaking real or objective. It's very subjective. And now we come to this part of how you program your data stream. Because how you program your data stream will recreate your reality. Okay? Your consciousness, you're manifesting right now. You're creating your reality right now, all the time. As consciousness, it's always the now moment because you're not immersed in a time sequence. No timeline is happening. So as consciousness, you're always right here. However, then you are seeing yourself in your virtual reality as a person going through sequences of events. And now the worst thing that you can do to yourself is having your ego run the show, because your subtitling mind, or the ego that tells about the events that are happening on the screen, might create a rigid constriction that you always identify yourself with this person, and you identify yourself with your feedback loop, and then you're caught up in a story that never changes because you don't believe you can change your reality, because you don't believe you can change your story. And we would call this something like unawakened state. In this unawakened state, you don't realize yourself to be consciousness, and you take input and impulse from external world, scientific materialism, and then your mind confirms only what it is seen. So scientific materialism or Satanism, it means that you are locked into this earth grid without the ability to connect yourself to what? Higher chakras, consciousness, pure self, God. Because you need to bring the earth and consciousness or God together in order to have a juicy playground. Otherwise, you're just trapped inside of a physical world and you're not yet realizing what's going on in the video game. So you think you're a victim to your circumstances, and you actually inform your mind and inform the stories based on what is already proven. So you don't believe, you don't have faith in the unseen world and in yourself that you can create whatever you desire, because you're still a baby. You're learning how to walk, so you need to reference the external physical reality, and then you create a story about what's available, what's not available, what's possible, what's not possible. However, you're coming into the maturity of understanding that everything is possible because you are the author. You are one with God. You are God, but not as a specific human individuation of that, but also as a specific individual, you are one with that. So now you can create with God as one with that. And therefore, it is not your ego that needs to worry about something or manifest something. It is your mind that can help you, consciousness, select from the array of infinite possibilities that you create constriction, limitation into probabilities, and then finally into choices. And once you deliberately choose out of the infinite possibility of everything being possible, what is exactly that you want, then you can drive it forward. And now you're playing in the game of life. So, if you guys want to be the architect of your own reality, I have a 90-day program, one-on-one only, available to selected individuals, and you can reach out to me by booking one session first, and then if you want to go deeper, we can create your lifestyle, we can create your business, we can create your purpose or multiple purposes, and we can jam on it together. So check out the link beneath my videos, and I'll see you in the next episode. Booyah!